Today, we are visiting with Dr. Bernard Kaufman, Jr., whose connection to Mount Zion dates back to 1914. Dr. Kaufman was born at the Mount Zion Hospital Hellman Building soon after it opened in 1914. Dr. Kaufman was graduated from Stanford University in 1936 and Tulane University Medical School in 1940. He joined his father, also a physician, at the Southern Pacific Railroad Hospital in San Francisco for his internship and residency. His professional pursuits were interrupted by 4 distinguished years as a physician in the U.S. Army during World War II, including a year in the 40th Field Hospital and care of the prisoners liberated at Buchenwald. By 1949, Dr. Kaufman was an attending physician at Mount Zion. Dr. Kaufman told us one of his favorite memories of Mount Zion in his early days of practice there.
And I remember that I was frightfully impressed by the nurses who wore a white outfit, and everyone had a cap. And I miss that very much nowadays, a cap. And I tried to learn to identify all of the nursing schools that they came from, because each one of the nursing schools had a different cap that identified the alma mater of the nurse.
And he told us about one of his favorite Mount Zion colleagues.
Yes, as a colleague and mentor and friend, I regard John Sampson as the ultimate as a physician and teacher, a man of Renaissance qualities.
As a member of the Mount Zion attending staff, Dr. Kaufman practiced as an internal medicine specialist, served on the Mount Zion Library and History of Medicine Committee from 1970 to 73, and by his retirement in 1994, he was a UCSF Associate Clinical Professor in Ambulatory and Community Medicine. At our visit with Dr. Kaufman, he told us many engaging stories and adventures that were part of his experience as a physician. One house call in particular had more action than he had anticipated.
I had no prior experience on taking care of ladies who were in preserve. This was my first case. So I went out there, and it turned out that there was a party going on, and that there was a lot of drinking. And this lady, when she got inebriated, became violent. And she began to maul and manhandle her guests. And I walked in there, and sort of like a babe in the woods, saw this situation, and made some stupid remarks such as, "I'm happy to meet you," or "What is there that bothers you most?" And she said, "You son of a you get the hell out of here." And I made the mistake of turning sideways, as probably with the thought in mind of getting out of the house as soon as possible. I didn't make it. She threw a plate at me, which smashed into my head, and I was covered with crockery, and I was dazed. And then she went after me with pots and pans. And
we asked Dr. Kaufman how he could remember so many stories with such detail.
Well, I began 60 years ago. I began taking notes. I made some entries in my diary at irregular intervals. I noticed recently my first entry was in 1938.
At the urging of his family, and fortunately for all of us, Dr. Kaufman has compiled the story of his family and his many life experiences and published them in Tales of the Kaufman Family. Dr. Kaufman presented the Fishbond Library with a copy of his book. It will be a treasured part of the collection.